What's going on, guys? It's your boy Slayer Extreme TV. Man, I hope y'all had a wonderful Christmas and an amazing New Year. Let's start 2024 out right. And today we are going to be doing another Ark Survival Ascended modding video, and I will be showing you how to create a very basic dino with a little bit of a twist. Let's get right into it. All right, so of course we're back in the dev kit. And first, let's get a little bit organized. We're gonna make a very simple dino. We're just gonna make an Anki. Simple as that. Nothing major, right? Well, we need certain files for this. Oh, that's okay, yeah. So we'll come over here to the primal earth in the content folder, and as you can see, I always have it. Remember, I always have mine like this. You'll probably be using this one down here for the content drawer, but you know, I'm weird. It's okay. So we're going to go to Primal Earth. Where's the dinos at? Here's the dinos. And we're looking for a little Anki. Where are you, sir? There he is. Anklio. Now, this is the only way I know how to make dinos. So if you know of a different way, a different method than what I'm about to show you, please let me know. Join the Discord. Come talk to me in the Discord. Everything will be down in the description, and you know, we can learn off each other, because this is the way I was taught from the old days, everything like that. Now for the dino that we're making, all we need is the blueprint path. Now if you look, you have all these different things, right? So much stuff, so confusing. And I mean, you even have this one. Well, you have the aberration version, and then you have the regular version. We're just going to use the regular version of the Anki. So we're going to drag, go drop it in our folder, and we're going to make a copy. And we are going to rename this guy. Let's see. We're going to name him or her Bobby, just because Bobby can be boy or girl, I guess. All right. That's all we really need. We're not going to go into changing much, but I'm going to show you a little thing that I recently learned, because as of right now, we created our. Now what we're going to do, like, we basically have the dino. It's ready to go in terms of spawning in the world admin wise, but you know, there's still a little bit things we got to do. So we're inside the dino blueprint, and if you want to change, say, let's zoom in, say how your dino looks, you're basically going to want the skeletal mesh. So if we click here where it says browse to Anklio and content browser, it'll drop us directly to where the skeletal mesh is. And we'll go ahead and drag and drop that in here and make a copy. And we are just going to rename this Bobby. That's all you need. But what you want to make sure you do, if you decide that you want to change the way your Anki looks in terms of mesh wise, because I'll show you another way to change the colors, you want to make sure that your new mesh is attached to your new dino. Okay. Now we want to make sure that it still uses the vanilla Anki saddle, but also at least when you spawn it into the world, or it spawns into the world naturally, the name is correct. So we want to come to the descriptive name only and change it to Bobby. That's all we do. Now, if you want to get really technical, I can show you a method of the best, like how I do my dinos in my own personal mod that I'm currently working on, to where you can make custom saddles and really get into the nitty-gritty of specific things. I don't know how to rig anything in terms of like making a brand new saddle for a dino that doesn't have a saddle, so I still got a long way to go in learning. Now, if that's all you want to do to create a dino, that's simple. That's that simple. You can come over here to the skeletal mesh. We can open it up. As you can see, there's 3 different things you can change. The eyes, and we can highlight this. So that's going to be the head, the legs, spikes down the spine. And then you have the actual, what I call the turtle shell of the Anki, and the tail. So if we wanted, we can change all of this. Now, I have learned that if you change this skeletal mesh, you won't really have blood decals, so you won't really see it bleeding, like whether or not you're doing enough damage to it. So unless you're using a super spyglass type of mod, you know, you're just going to keep hitting it until it either goes to sleep or dies. But we're going to keep this the same. We're not going to change anything of the size. The thing that we are wanting, and this is going to be a very short video because this is the easiest way. We just created a new dino. Congratulations, you're done. You change the name, you set it up, new dino created. Now all we would have to do technically, if you wanted this, our good old Anky Bobby, Anky Bobby, if you wanted this good old Anky Bobby to spawn into the world, you would want to come to your mod data assets, come over here to NPCs. Now there's two methods to get your dino to spawn. Okay, you can either remap an NPC, which is basically remapping a vanilla dino to where, oh, sorry, there's like three ways. You have the remapping, which is basically saying, we're going to take this Anky. Oh, where is it? Oh yeah, okay. I don't know what that is. Okay, I'm wrong. Don't judge me. I've never actually looked at remapping, so I'm gonna be honest with you. It's probably just, my opinion, I think remapping is literally just remapping a vanilla dino. I've just never used it personally, so I apologize for not really having much information on that, which I thought would have been a lot easier to explain than what I just witnessed. But the two methods I use, or that you could use, if you don't want to remap it, don't want your vanilla dinos to spawn out in the world, you can start right here. NPC entries container additions in the NPC drop bar in your mod data assets. So basically create a new one, create a new element, and boom, you're going to start here. You're basically going to be picking here what spawn container you want the dino to spawn in. And as you can see, certain dinos have their own spawn containers, or you can pick specific ones of where you want the dino to spawn. So since we're doing an Anky, we'll just throw it in the grasslands, right? And you may think you're done, but you're not. So come down here to additional NPC spawn entries, add a new element, hit that drop bar, and boom. So here's where we go. So we know that that our entry, the dino we're gonna be getting to spawn on this container, is named Bobby. I really should have named it Bobby Anky, but we're going to go Bobby because it is an Anky. And then you'll come here to NPCs to spawn, create a new element, and you just search your dino. Easiest way, search it by the name you gave it. So boom, there's Bobby. Now, here's the entry weight. It's at 100%. Keep in mind, 1 means 100. Okay, but you want a spawn percentage chance. And say we'll give it a 50% chance. Oh, good Lord Jesus. We'll give it a 50% spawn chance with an entry weight of 1. So it has a 50% chance of spawning in the grasslands, and it's basically in the rotation for whatever dino's wildcard has thrown into the grassland spawner, and it has a 50% chance out of all those other dinos. And basically, that's all you do. You're set up. You just save it. Boom. Now in the grasslands, you'll see your own variation of your dino. Be a lot easier if you change the skeletal mesh or change the color of the dino, which we'll get into here shortly. Now, the other way you can get a dino to spawn is by piggybacking off of vanilla spawns. This one can be a little bit more frustrating, primarily because you can end up having conflictions with other dino overhaul mods, only because some of those dino overhaul mods that could possibly be coming out in the future for Ark Survival Ascended may end up remapping some vanilla dinos. And if you don't know what vanilla dinos are remapped and you try to piggyback off of them, you may have a dino that never spawns. So we'll go here to the global NPC random spawn class weights, create a new element, and do a drop down. Now what you're going to be doing is you're going to be searching here from where it says from class. Say we want it to, so we have our Anky Bobby, and say we want it to spawn off of a stego, right? Well, there's our stego. That's the vanilla stego. We want it to spawn into our dino Bobby, right? So so now we'll add 2 more elements here in the weights. So I got tongue-tied. and you want to match it up. Okay. So you don't want to completely remove the stego, right? You still want stegos to spawn. I almost forgot. So you want to add 2 classes. So you're basically taking the stego class and you're going to give it 2 options to choose between. Either it's going to spawn in your custom dino, which is in our case Bobby the Anki, or just the regular vanilla dino itself, you know, because you want, if you want that dino to still spawn. Now here's where it gets a little bit fun. So we already know that 1 equals 100. So we want it to be, let's say we'll give it a 20% chance of spawning from a stego. So we give the 80% that you always 80% chance that you get a stego over our Bobby dino. You have a 20% to get Bobby over stego dino. That's pretty much that's what I call, at least. I'm not the best modder in the world, so please don't come at me. But that's what I call piggybacking off of a vanilla dino. You're basically taking a vanilla dino that spawns on the map and then throwing another dino on top of it to allow it to spawn guaranteed on any map, as long as that map has that specific dino. But in my own opinion, using the global NPC random spawn class weights, it's not bad, but I always feel like that's a possibility of having over spawns a little bit more. Using the entry containers, which I call spawn containers, for every single map that is, you know, within the dev kit. Like, these are all the spawn containers we have as of right now. As you can see, they don't have anything for aberration, or I mean, oh no, they added a lot more. Oh, look at that. A lot of stuff has been updated, but they're still adding stuff to it because they're still working on aberration, Ragnarok, you know, all of that stuff. And most of those maps have and use the island spawners. So most of the time you'll be all right. Sometimes you may have to add a little bit extra spawners in there just so they can spawn in those certain maps in certain areas. But most maps will have these basic spawn containers, which will allow your dinos to always spawn no matter what map they're on. I always found it to be easier. The only thing that a lot of modders tend to, when using this, don't do is they'll end up doing this. And this is what I've seen in the past. And then they blame, and some modders do blame server owners, and server owners blame the modders. It's a back and forth conflict. I'm a modder now, and I'm also a server owner, so I know it. Most mods probably have it to where it's 100% consistent spawn rate for some dinos. And that can cause a massive, massive overspawn just for one dino. And sadly, some modders may not be able to do this. And it just depends on who they are, their equipment, and everything like that, and the time that they actually have available to them, to where they are not able to test the mod out in a dedicated server before releasing it to the public, or unable to test it here in the dev kit to the degree of what kind of spawns they're getting from that specific dino. As for me, I could easily upload this mod, have it in CurseForge to where none of you guys could see it, and I could test it out and then play with the spawn percentage and the spawn entry weight. And let's set this back to 50%. Until I found the perfect numbers to what kind of spawns I'm looking for. Now, one of the things, we made our dino. You could literally upload this and you're done. That's all you need. You don't even, technically you really don't need this. Now, if you want to really see how it works, we'll jump in here into the editor, right? Of course, in the editor, we get to spawn a tamed or untamed. Excuse me. We'll do a tame version, and look, we got Bobby. Look at our Bobby. Now, as you can see, it still has we changed nothing about this dino, except for the name. It's got the description name. Its name is Bobby. Now, if I give myself GCM, right? for creative mode so I can just craft anything. So this is going to probably take a minute because it's got to load up every single asset that I just forced myself to learn in vanilla. Now, because we only changed the descriptive name and that's it, and then added our own skeletal mesh just in case in the future we wanted to change the actual skeletal mesh of the dino, we can. Since that's all we changed, we should be able to use the Anki saddle. Sorry, my brain froze for a minute. We should be able to use the vanilla Anki saddle on our dino easily. See? Boom. Custom dino with the Anki saddle, the vanilla Anki saddle, ready to go. The reason for that, and I'll actually show you because I had to learn this the hard way because I didn't know anything about this. So we got the vanilla Anki saddle, we're good. Everything works. We still got all the attacks. It's right click, left click. You know, we got our own little Bobby, and he's green. In this instance, he's green. Now, let's say that we wanted to do a little bit more customization. Say you didn't want to change the actual skeletal mesh, but you wanted to change the colors that he spawned in. Which meaning like every single time this dino spawned in the world, whether you admin cheated the dino in, or it spawns through the spawn containers, and you want the dino to spawn in specific colors automatically. Well, you'll come in to your blueprint, come to the search bar for details, and search random color. Basically what you're getting is the random color sets for male and female, meaning you can make them different for male and females. I mean but it's using, and if you want, you can keep it the same. You want to customize it, like I said, I'll show you. Well, it's easy. So let's go find it. You'll hit the folder so you can find where it's located. And we'll take this and we'll drag it into our folder for our Anki and we'll make a new copy. All right. So we'll rename this male Bobby. And then we will make a duplicate of it. And we will name this female Bobby. We'll make two different colors, right? All right, female, male. Now, as you can see, look at all the colors that you can choose from when it comes to the certain regions of the Anki you have access to. The regional names, every single dino in vanilla will automatically have the regional names to a degree already put into the location. All you have to do is freaking look at the colors and choose what you want. If you're curious on what colors you can use and what colors you can't use, all of these colors, as you can see, they're just names. Even the dragon green 2, all this stuff. It's all based on one simple thing: your primal game data. Basically, if you open your primal game data BP for your mod, your computer may be better than mine and it may not take 5,000 years for it to open. Okay. But for your mod in your primal game data, oh, that is definitely not what I wanted. Let's see what I forgot. There's so much stuff in here. Hold on, give me a second. Okay, let's see. Is it? Should be here in your primal game data. Now, that because we're using a mod data asset these days, I could be wrong in the location of where certain things are. So let me see. Okay, those are dino entries. Ah, here they are. Color definition. That's what you're looking for. Color definition. I just say color D or color def. So in your primal game data, I knew it was here somewhere. It already has a set like set number of colors. I think it goes all the way to, look at all the colors, all the way to 100 different colors, pretty much, of color entries. Now you can always add your own color entries if you wanted, but you could come into your primal game data and see all these different colors. You could be so creative with the random colors you can put together for your dinos if you want to go this route for these dinos. Now let's see, what's the easiest color? Let's just do this. So what you need to make sure is that any color that's in here, the way it's spelled, the way it's spaced. Okay, we'll do this. Dragonfire. The way it is written within your primal game data is the way that you want it in your color entry names. So we're going to do this. We're going to remove all of these colors. All right. So this is how you redo it. You basically don't do nothing to the region name. You'll come here to color entry names after deleting all that was there. Or you could go one by one and be like, I want this one, not this one, type of thing, and just delete what you want and keep what you want to keep. Or if you can just do what I did and erase it all, start from scratch. If you know the color definitions already, you just create a new element for color entries and you type it directly the way it's written within your primal game data. And that's all you do. You do it for each region, because if you don't do it to a region, it's not going to have anything. Oh, see, I messed up right there. If you don't put a color name for the region, I'm not entirely sure what will happen, but it could come out looking like it has no color whatsoever, which I have no idea how that looks. So we'll add Dragonfire to all of this. We compiled it, we saved it. Let's pick a different color now we'll do wolf fur. So we just made our color regions for our male dino color set. Let's do the female version. We're going to restart all of these. And now we're just going to add in our other color so we can have a difference. Right, compile and save. Now what we got to make sure to do is come back in here to our blueprint. Now that we've already created our own dino color sets, we want to take our dino color sets, and if you created one that is overall for male and female, you would only need to make one of these. I made two just to show off what you could do if you want to use the colors that's within the game itself. So we're going to take our male and assign it here. Take our female, assign it here, compile it, save it, and boom. Now that we've done that, we can literally, if we wanted to, we'll close out all this. Give it a second while it understands that I just closed out all those tabs. And what we should see is that if we spawn in multiple dinos within the editor, they will come out those specific colors that we designated. Okay, now let's jump into the editor. If you come up to this error, just go ahead and play editor. I've seen this happen so many times, and it's something in vanilla that it has nothing to do with you. So just hit play in editor, you'll be fine. It won't mess anything up. Now we're going to spawn in a tame version, and then we're going to spawn in another one. Oh. Are these both females? Should I really just get unlucky and just get two females? Oh wow, yeah, there's the female. Look how white it is. And as you can see, I spawned in two, so that's the color we got. Now let's see if we can get a male to spawn in. There it is. There's the male. So these are the two colors you would get in your on your server with these spawning in, you would be able to tell which one's male and which one's female. And that's actually pretty cool. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Now there is another way to change what the dino looks like, and like I said before, it'd be based on your skeletal mesh. Now we could come into your skeletal mesh, and now these are just extra things. You don't have to do these things. You can literally just do what we did in the beginning of the video. Create the blueprint path for the dino, change the descriptive name. Bada bing, bada boom, you've created your dino, and it will spawn. And once you set up your mod data asset to have it spawn the way you want it to spawn, whether you remap, whether you use spawn containers, or whether you do the piggyback method, it will spawn on any server that, you know, uses your mod. Now, if you want to get really creative, let's say we want we have our Bobby. We want it to have, let's say, red eyes. You can search. Now there is other methods of doing this. I'm showing you what I do, and we're gonna basically just be using the materials that are within automatically the dev kit without you having to add any assets from the Epic store. So we're just gonna search red. All right, and basically it's searching all the materials within the dev kit that you currently have access to, and you're basically that's what you're looking. You can literally add whatever you want. Let's see. Now, there's a certain type of red I want to show you. This is the type of red I like. I think it's called Tech Pad. Oh, immersive. Oh, where's this red at, man? Come on, DevKit, you're making me look bad here. Ah, there it is. This is the one I like. Tech Pad. Oh, it's underscore tech underscore pad. Okay, there it goes. So I like this red because it looks cool on the eyes. So we wanted to change our eyes to that. Look at this. That's the type of eyes you'd get on your dino. And if you didn't change the skin, it would come out with those two colors with those eyes. Like, so we'll save it. That saves directly to our blueprint because we added our version of our skeletal mesh. So you'll see here, there's his eyes. So if we go in to the editor, we made that one simple change. Let's see. Give me a male. Okay, game. There it goes. We got a male. Now you got all of them with the eyes. See, you can make that one simple change to make your dino look very, very unique so people could tell that it was a modded dino. Now, if you wanted to change the skeletal mesh of the entire body, it's the same method we just did with the eyes. And this is when you can start coming into the Epic store and bringing over, like what I've done, I created my own little folder. You can bring over all types of things to put in your editor to add to your mod itself to make it very, very unique and very, very special to what your end goal is for it. So say, let's see. So here are so I have all these materials. These are very unique. And you can get this pack off the Epic store. Everything that's within my mod, I give props to everybody who's created it because it's all from the Epic store. I either purchased it or it was all free. But if you say we take this skin right here, we're going to change this. We're just going to change everything. We're going to change both of these. Boom. And look at that. He's changed. Now, it doesn't look great, but that's primarily because DevKit has issues with rendering in stuff. So we'll go ahead and close that, and we'll reopen it. And boom. Now you can see what it would look like in-game. Okay, now, keep in mind, since we use this material and put it on this dino, you have to take this material and all the textures that are assigned to it. So whatever textures are assigned to it, you know, to create this material, you would need to take the textures and the material itself and put it in your mod. If you do not do that, the way this dino looks on our Anki right now, he would not look like that. He would end up looking like this in game with glowy eyes, but he would look like he's missing his mesh or he's missing his color. Primarily, that's because the material you're using is not native to the Ark Survival Ascended game, so therefore, it's not going to register. The only way it registers is I'll show you. Only way it's going to register is if you add it in. I'll show you an example from my own personal mod. Wait, let's go. Let's do that. Oh, that is definitely not correct. There it goes. Let's put his body back on there. So I'll show you an example of what I'm talking about from my own personal mod that I'm still working on. It's not even published yet. Hello, Jesus? DevKit, don't mess with me now, man. Okay, there it goes. So I'll show you this. So here's all my extra extra materials I've moved over from my mod. But I've also have all of the texture packs that are that correlate with each individual material that I have used, am using, even the parent material, because some of the materials I have are instances, which means they use these primary materials. Where is it? They use these primary materials to create the instance of how this would look. Some of the, like I said, these things, like see right here for the parent, it's using a parent material to create this color based on however the creator of that material pack I used set it up. Now, one of the things that most people probably want to do with their dinos, so with our Anki, say you wanted your Anki to literally do nothing but harvest element just by smacking rocks, right? You want to make this an element gathering dino because element is always a pain in the butt to gather on a server, because the only way to get element is by defeating the vanilla bosses and all of that stuff. So we're going to make it to where we're going to use Bobby and make him an element farmer. So what you'll do is come into your blueprint and just search up damage type. What's that? What that does is it's going to bring up the damage types right here. Okay. So for the Anki, he has 3 different damage types. He has herbivore medium, mine stone, no berries. Herbivore medium, mine stone. Basically, this one and this one are set up to where that's what's used for him to mine stone, flint, metal from rocks, and to where his tail swipe will not collect berries if said metal node or rock is within the vicinity of bushes. That's basically your left click. Your right click is right here, which is herbivore medium. That's where the Anki is chomping at the ground, which is how he would gather the berry seeds or whatever the case. So we just want our Anki to harvest from stone. We're not worried about changing anything for the berries, so we just want him to harvest stone. So what we need is this asset right here. We need this damage type, make a copy of that, and then we need this damage type. Because we want to make sure that it all registers and works and it doesn't have any hiccups. So as you can see what I did, I clicked this folder just so we can find that asset, and we just made a copy of it. So we'll come in here, we'll literally just add element at the end of the name. You don't really have to go into like renaming this entire thing super deeply. This is just, hello? This is the way I do it, by just putting what you're going to be using it for. So in this case, element, I just added element at the end of the name because it makes it easy to just take this one that says no berries and add it into the correct location. Now, can you change this and make them do different things? Possibly. Do I know if it works consistently? No. This is the method that I use for my own mod to get dinos to farm, to get farming dinos and resource gathering dinos to gather things that they naturally wouldn't gather, especially modded resources for my specific mod. So we can make this easy. Well, since we already made our own, we'll take our own and we'll go ahead and assign it here. And we'll take this mindstone element and we'll assign it here. And just for some dinos, I never had to change this, but I'll go ahead and change it because it's the same as this one. And we'll make it match. Okay. So we'll go ahead and save it. Now the fun part. Now let's get into this one first. So you'll open up your damage type melee blueprint that we just created our version for. And basically you'll scroll down. This is not a big file. You'll scroll down to where you have override damage harvest entries. This is what you're looking for. You'll create a new element. And now, welcome to the fun. Okay. Now here's the interesting part. Okay, so you have your harvesting components. This is basically what determines what you smack to harvest your resource. So we wanted to harvest all metal nodes. So we'll type in metal. So we have harvest. So let's make a couple elements. So what I do is to ensure we hit every spot, because there's all different types of harvesting components. We'll get all the 3 things that have metal in them, and then we'll also do stone. So anything that has stone. So I'll do salts. We'll do every single stone component. Doesn't matter what it is, because some people may want it to where it doesn't matter what stone it is, as long as he's harvesting. I think that was the last stone, correct? 5. Yep. You just want to make sure, no matter what stone or metal node this Anki harvests, you're getting nothing but element, right? Now I always keep these the same. You can probably tinker with these all you want. You can allow underwater harvesting if you want it to, but because it's an Anki, there's no reason to. Now this is where it gets interesting. Okay. Damage type parent, right? Well, this one is herbivore medium mindstone, right? Well, that's what we're looking for. Let's see, herbivore _mind. Oh, it's medium. Oh, mine. See how there's different ones? So you have the default version, our version, default version, our version, and then one for wood. We want the vanilla version. We want the one that we copied to create our variant. That's the parent that this is going off of. You always want the parent. So basically, whatever damage type you just created, you want that parent, that damage type parent. I can't explain why, because honestly, I have no idea. That's just what I was told that needed to be done. And you know what? It worked. Now, last but not least, because now the final thing, you need to add in your harvest resource entry. So you'll create an element here, and you'll come here. This looks so overwhelming, right? Not really. Now, you have your override quantity max, override quantity min. If you don't change these, you're not harvesting nothing. So you have, let's make it a minimum 5. We'll do this 1 to 1,000. By setting it that way, we will gather between 1 and 1,000 element every time we smack a resource that is stone or metal, right? Now you can mess with all this. I normally just leave it how it is, and I'll always just come down here to the resource. So we'll type in element, find the primal item resource for element. You can make it to where you get some XP gain if you want, min, max, whatever, however you want to set it up. Now we will set everything else up. Okay, damage type entry values override. Now, as you can see, you're looking for damage type entries. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I want to tell you the correct thing because it's been a minute since I've set this up for my own dinos. If I'm not mistaken, the damage type entry values override is basically parenting off of what you just made, like basically the damage type you just made. So let's go verify. So here's on my own dinos. So here's my Inky, and we're doing this one. And see, I set it up with all these to where I would make, no matter what it smacks, crystal, obsidian, oil, rocks, stones, doesn't matter. I set it up to where it smacks it. Yeah, see? So, yep, that's what I thought. Now, this is how I was told to set it up, to where I just wanted to make sure and verify this. I can't explain why, but you'll set all these to 1, okay? And you'll take, we're in the wrong mod. You'll take the damage type you're working on, and you'll add it right here in damage type entry values override. And then set it all to 1. Now, you can always set this to scale with baby dino age. I don't really do that. But that's all you need to do. And you save it, because we've already added the damage type here. Now the next thing we do is come into the other damage type that we created. And this one, it makes it to where you don't harvest seeds and berries whenever you left click, right? What I did is I didn't touch this at all. Okay. I went right here back to the override damage harvest entries. I created a new index because I did not want to mess with how it was set up to where it wasn't gathering berries and seeds with left click. So we'll do the same thing that we did a minute ago, and we'll go ahead and add all the metal and stone components to this entry on top of what it's already in here. Let's see, stone. And we'll make it easy. So this one's no berries. Yep. So we'll add in the parent, and then we'll go ahead and add in. Let's see, we said 1,001 element. I spelled element wrong. I'm a smart being. Element. Sorry, it's showing more things that say element than I have my personal mod attached. Sorry about that. We said 1 experience, and then we'll go ahead and set these up. Now we got to make sure the one you're working on, the damage type you're working on, will always go right. Excuse me. Will always go right here. If you don't do that, you're just gonna end up confusing yourself, and it's not gonna work. Trust me, I've tried it. I have played with this so dang much, and I had to have help from our good friend Lucian Kane. Big shout out to him for teaching me this. But this is how he told me to set everything up, because this is what he did to set up his Ark Eternal Dinos. So big shout out to Lucian Kane. I appreciate you teaching me this and giving me the opportunity to teach these anybody else. So now that we've compiled and saved both damage types, we've already added them to our good old friend Bobby. We'll go ahead and compile it just to be safe. Here's the fun part. Let's find out if this works. So If you've always wondered, how do you test this within the dev kit? Well, you're about to find out. Come up to the top left where after you've already made sure that you are in your test map, or if you're not sure, go ahead and double click, let it load it up and set it up so you are officially here. You want to come up here to where it says selection mode. You come here, click on foliage. Basically what this is going to allow you to do is you want to make sure it's set to paint. Come down here to the bottom left and you look for what type of foliage you look for. So let's say we'll do metal and we'll just click this, right? So we're clicking this. We'll click it, check mark it so it ensures that that's the one you're using. And basically what we're doing is painting resources on our test map, right? And to get out of this, you just come back up here, come back to selection, boom, you're good to go, right? Now we have those on our test map. We'll jump into the editor. And because we're loading all this new stuff, it's going to take a minute for real. No, I'm just kidding. Wow. Yep. It's taking longer than I thought it would. Awesome. But yeah, we're going to come in here. Oh, I know why. We'll cut here and we'll come back when it's finished loading because it's loading everything from my main mod, which it shouldn't be, but it is. So we'll be right back. All right, we're back. And we finally loaded in because I forgot to remove that my primary model is active, and that's why it took so long. All right, so in front of us, we got our metal nodes that we just painted on the map. We'll spawn in our good old friend Bobby. Since, you know, editor, dev kit, you don't need a saddle. So let's see if it worked. Walk over here and do a smack. Oh, look at that. On the far left, what do you see? We are farming element. Look at that. Gorgeous. Look at that. It worked. And now we have a dino named Bobby who literally does nothing but farm element. And that's it. You're good to go now. And every single dino will do that. So if you want to remove this, because we're in selection mode, and if you don't want this to be here the next time, just click it, hit your delete button, boom, it's gone. Come over here to your test map, hit save, and you're ready to go. Now, there might be, like I said in the beginning of in this video, there might be other ways of creating a new variant of a vanilla dino. But honestly, I don't even know how to do that the correct way these days, because the videos that I tried to follow from the old Ark Survival Evolved UE4 days seem to be a lot of those videos don't seem to apply for some of the things that we can do here in Ark Survival Ascended. So this is the easiest method of how I create my personal dinos and change the skeletal meshes to be the way I want them to look. Of course, how to create dinos that are what I would call utility dinos, to where they can harvest different resources from different things. I don't really use the dino color set, but if you don't have access to certain materials to make your dino look completely different, like I showed you earlier, this is the easiest way. Just get creative with the dino colors that you use. If there's a color that you want to use that's not within your primal game data, you can easily go ahead and add it in. It would not be an issue. I think it would probably be easier to come into your mod data assets and throw it in here. Let's see if it's in here. Color. Yeah, color definitions. If you have any extra color definitions that you want to add that's not within the primal game data originally, you can easily come into your mod data assets. You don't have to spend ages trying to load up your primal game data, and go ahead and add your color, name it to what you want to name it, set the color regions to whatever you want, however you want it to be set up. You can even use the primal game data as an example of how you want it to be, like how theirs was all, theirs was all 0, and then they just changed the color, played with it around, set it up, name it whatever you want to name it, and boom, you then, because your mod data asset's linked to your primal game data for your mod, and then say you named it Pink Fire, you could come over here to your male dino, type in Pink Fire for your new color entry name, and it will register because this blueprint for your dino color set is registering the primal game data and the mod data asset to determine, hey, is this name for this color here? I need to grab that and put it on this dino. Now, I hope that helps you creating your own little vanilla variants. I still am looking at and working on trying to figure out how to properly set up like brand new dinos or brand new assets, like bringing mythical creatures, creatures that are not native to Ark Survival Ascended, and bringing them into the dev kit and bringing them to life all together. So I hope this helps you get started the basic way based on how I've learned it. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I tried to answer all of them the best I can. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Come join the Discord if you want to have some more one-on-one conversations with me. I am always down to talk with you guys and help you guys to the best of my ability. All that will be down in the description down below. And stop by some of the streams if you're interested in just seeing some other forms of content and just hanging out. I mean, yeah, you can come play some games with me. If you need a break from the dev kit like I always do, come hang out. We'll go play Call of Duty, Diablo, play on some random servers on Ark Survival Ascended, whatever you want to do, man. Hang out and have some fun. All right, I love you guys. Again, I hope y'all had a wonderful Christmas, a wonderful New Year's, and I hope you started off your New Year's correctly and no trouble. You didn't get into any trouble or anything like that. I love you guys, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.